Happy Monday. Happy day 13 of Vlogmas. Lucky number 13. If you are new around here, I am Stacy, the encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. I have the griddles turned on and I had to add some more encaustic medium to the one griddle. So I thought while that heats up, I'm gonna open up a few packages and show you guys what I got. Okay, this first box is from Furls Crochet Hooks, or Furls Crochet. They make, obviously, crochet hooks, and they also sell yarn and various other things, but I love their crochet hooks. I have some wooden ones, and I'm gonna try some of their metal ones. So let me open that box. It might not be as exciting for some of you as it is for me, but they have some really cool hooks.
I mean, you just really can't beat the quality and the sparkle of these hooks. They are beautiful. And in the words of Matt,
wow! Look at that incredible shine!
This second box is from finearts.com, and this might be more exciting to some of you. It is some encaustic supplies, so looking forward to experimenting around with them. But first, let's get the box open. Okay, I got everything out of the box and out of the packaging, and so I thought I'd show you. These are various different scraping tools. A little bit smaller one and a really large one. These I've been wanting for a while to replace my straight edge razor blade for trying to get smoother surfaces, getting out bumps and things like that. And then this is a little tiny double-ended scraper as well for making incising lines and a small little detail scraping into. Then I have this fun tool, which again I've been wanting to try forever and finally decided to bite the bullet and order it. It is a batik, sorry if that focuses, there we go, batik wax writer, and basically this end goes into my heating tool that I have, and hopefully I will show you guys later on today experimenting with this. But you're supposed to make really fine thin lines, so again for detail work on this. That's what I'm hoping anyways. Okay, then moving on to these guys here. These are little rubber tipped scraping tools, but not when the wax is dried onto the surface or onto the board. This is for using with the printing plate and or on the griddle. And again, hopefully I will be able to show you that later as well, later today. And then last but not least, I got some more pen nibs. Oh, sorry about that glare, that's really bad. All right, I got some pen nibs and a pen and a lot more pen nibs. And again, sorry about the glare. I'll take these out of the plastic. And again, these are gonna be for little fine details. So not a huge package, but some fun stuff. Up first, I wanna try these little rubber scrapey tools.
before I can start using these, I need to prep some paper. So again, I'm just using some mixed media paper. And first I apply some encaustic medium to it right on the griddle. Like I said, the griddle's already heated up, so the wax melts right onto the paper as I'm applying it. And then I'm also using a very dark color blue, also in the same way, but I'm hoping this dark color will really allow you to see these marks that I'm going to be able to make with these scrapies. That is the intention, at least.
As you can see, these come in various different sizes. So as I'm working with them, I'm going to try to keep them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just so you can get an idea for how they each work a little bit differently in the videos.
All right, so as I said earlier, these are meant to scrape the wax away while it is hot on the griddle. And each tip provides a slightly different mark. I think it's a little hard for you to see in the video, but you're going to have to trust me on that, or get a set yourself and experiment away. Definitely a unique technique, and I'm not sure exactly how often I'll be using it, but I'm enjoying playing with these. So this is the first way I'm using them. And then the second way, I'm taking a blank piece of mixed media paper. Again, this has some encaustic clear medium on it, and I am applying the paint to the griddle and then using these as writing tools onto this piece of paper. And again, you can see each tip is slightly different, and it doesn't write real well because they're meant to scrape wax away, not write. But I do like, they kind of make unique stamp marks. So you'll see me kind of dabbing these scrapers down, and the stamping marks that they make are quite unique, and I could definitely see using that in some collage papers and things like that. So just a slightly different technique. And then using the printing plate and taking, again, some encaustic wax, blue wax again, and paint rather again, and making marks into the printing plate with these scrapies. And then I'm going to do a press or a print of each of these marks on. And I think this way was actually my favorite way to use these tools. And then up next, I am trying a plain old piece of copy paper just to see if something reacts differently with that versus the mixed media paper, because the mixed media paper is quite a bit thicker than the copy paper, and you'll see it really doesn't react any differently.
Okay, here are the results of the experiment, and I've never used these tools before, so it was kind of hit or miss for me. But I definitely think more experimenting can be done, and I'm sure there is a lot more tutorials out there on the internet for people that have used these more than I have. I do like this one the best, and me, myself, personally, I could see using these tools for different collage backgrounds and then doing more to them. I can't see myself doing a whole lot of this. I know there's people that make encaustic cards and stuff like that, and with the printing plate and these tools, and I think that's fascinating. It's just not something I would probably do. Maybe in the future, who knows. Out of everything I got in that box, this is what I'm most excited to use. So I had to try it out just in case I run out of time to mess around with those pen nibs. I really wanted to make sure I had time to try this. And again, because I don't do too much research, I just jump right on into experimenting. I just plugged my tool in and screwed this little thing into the end of it. Wish that would focus better for you guys. And there is wax in the center of that. So I'm assuming this will heat up and melt that wax down. We're gonna find out though. Okay, guys, I am not exactly sure what kind of wax this comes with. It was full of wax earlier, but because I heated it up, it all has now drained out that end there. It melted and drained out. And so what I'm going to do is add some brush cleaner, some soy wax to it to just further clean it out. And I'm just not sure exactly if the batik wax that came with it would mix with encaustic wax or not. So I'm just going to clean it out and go from there.
I wanted to show you, this has a little stopper in it, if you will, that prevents the wax from just squirting all the way out the bottom. And it's shaped like a little needle, so you can get really fine lines with it. At least that is the goal.
All right, I took and shredded some of this block of wax with a little razor blade. I think going forward in the future, if I really like this tool, I will get maybe a cheese grater or something like that, because I could see how this could be a little bit dangerous. Now, I know you could also melt the wax and put it into this little container here already melted, and that would also work, but I like the idea of just adding a little bit at a time and not having to melt an entire container of wax. So that's my plan going forward, is to perhaps get a cheese grater if I like this.
All right, I came up with a much better plan. I have a paint scraper here. It's a metal paint scraper, and I heat it up on the griddle just to get it warm. And then I take that paint scraper and slice bits of chunk away from this wax. So no cheese grater needed, and I'm not going to be injuring myself with a sharp blade. Success. Now that I have that figured out, how to get small pieces of wax chipped, I'm just going to fill this up with wax, let it melt down, and then experiment away. Now, you'll see this took a little bit of trial and error. You have to make sure that the wax is melted down good enough for it to make these lines and these dots. But once I got the hang of it, this tool, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Can't say I love it enough. Again, it took a little while to get used to, and you also want to make sure you're pointed directly straight down and not at an angle. But once I got the hang of it, it was great. And I've gone over one line probably 4 or 5 times and really built up the layers on this line. And you'll see this adds a ton of dimension and height to the wax that I don't know that you can get in such fine lines without this tool. You can obviously build up plenty of layers with a paintbrush, but this fine line without this tool, I don't know how you get. At any rate, it is very sturdy. You will see I'm kind of pushing it back and forth to show you how sturdy it is stuck down to this paper. I'm putting quite a bit of pressure down on it, and it is not chipping off. It is moving slightly, but it's going to be a painting on a wall eventually, and nobody is probably going to be pushing it around that much. So love the tool. Since that tool worked so well with paper, I'm going to try it on to fabric. And also, I just can't stop experimenting with it. And you will see it works just as nicely on the fabric as it does on the paper. It's just, I love the tool. I can't say enough.
All right, guys, I feel like this is where I'm going to leave you today with my new favorite tool.
And with one more glimpse at these tools and experiments from the day.
I mean, I really love it. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Sherry Bartlett told me all about this tool. And yeah, she's another encaustic artist, and I highly recommend going to check her out. I will link her below. So as always, thanks so much for coming along. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Thumbs up. It really, really does help me out. If you aren't subscribed and would consider doing so, that also very much helps me out. We will most likely see you tomorrow for more Vlogmas. I am going to go down and make some dinner. We're having baked pork chops. So while they are in the oven, I'm going to try out my new crochet hook, which is also hopefully equally as exciting as my new tool. At any rate, we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.